Can you score 1,000 goals in one match in Football Manager? Well, we are going to try. But in order to do this, we are going to need to create the absolutely perfect scenario. And I've debated the best way to do this, philosophically. I sat on the top of grassy hills, I looked up at the sky, and I realized that we needed to apply a lot of pressure. Lots of pressure. Which means Champions League. But it can't be the final, because we want the bad team to be on the road. Because if you've ever played Football Manager, you know that the home advantage can be huge. So we've simulated a save to the second leg of the Champions League semi-final, which is the highest pressure home match that any club could be playing. And we have a perfect scenario. Liverpool at home and losing. This is going to provide that little bit of extra motivation for our Liverpool team and maybe some complacency from Arsenal or something. But we are going to need to make a few modifications. First, we go to Liverpool, and we are going to make the stadium large. Stadium name, Anfield, but bigger. Yes. Capacity? Well, the max is 150,000, so we are going to go with 150,000. And I don't know if this matters, but we're going to put a roof on the stadium as well, just so that, you know, it echoes and it's even louder. The most intimidating place you could possibly play. We're also going to jack up the club's reputation to the top possible level and boost the morale to the top possible level. And voila. We have the biggest, most intimidating stadium possible with a team that could not be bigger and happier. Well, for Arsenal, we are going in the other direction. Don't need to worry about the stadium, obviously, because they're not at home, but their reputation is now 1. On a scale of 1 to 10,000, it is 1. For reference, Green Mamba FC, who play in Eswatini, have a reputation of 2,100. So Arsenal has a lower reputation than my 7th grade soccer team. But that is, of course, just the beginning. Hello, team. And we are going to make every single player on Arsenal as bad as possible. We are also going to make them as short as possible, 150 centimeters, and as light as possible. We are also, even if it doesn't matter, lowering their reputation to 1 and going into their fitness and making them in the worst possible physical condition. It is impossible to be in worse physical condition than every single one of the players on Arsenal going into this match. But I'm not done. Every single player is a center back. That's on the bad team anyways, which means every single outfield player will not have positional familiarity except at the center back position. Not that it makes a ton of difference. Oh, and also extremely weak foot on everybody. This is the worst possible player in Football Manager. Not Gabby Martinelli, like just the edited version. With Liverpool, we had the exact opposite. Highest possible reputation. Incredibly strong weak foot on every single player. Literally perfectly fit. And also capable of naturally playing every single outfield position. Every single one of these guys can do that. And the little cherry on top is we've changed all the morale on Liverpool to perfect, while all the morale on Arsenal has obviously been shifted to abysmal. The last piece is the tactic. And, well, this will be Arsenal's tactic for the match today. We have 3 advanced forwards, 3 shadow strikers, 2 trequartistas, and 2 wingers on attack, with a sweeper keeper on attack. I did put some thought into this. I think early crosses makes them get rid of the ball quickly if they ever happen to end up with it. We don't want direct play because they might actually be able to put pressure on the other team. They won't because the attributes are so bad. We do want them to run at defense with their 1 dribbling and, well, 1 everything. They're going to distribute the ball short to no one. And naturally, we're playing an incredibly high line here, but staying on feet and dropping off more. Brilliant. The tactic for Liverpool, a lot more simple. We've just downloaded the winner of the Football Manager World Cup's tactic. I made a video about it. The thumbnail looked like that. But given the fact that, I don't know, he won the Football Manager World Cup, it's basically the best kind of normal tactic you're going to be able to get. And going into the match itself, I'm going to be coaching Arsenal, because if I don't, he's going to automatically select a bunch of 16-year-olds because they're way better than the guys that we're trying to play. All right. Remember, lads, we have a 2-1 lead, so no funny business. Play smart, and we're going to come out of here with a victory on aggregate today. We're not. We got to absolutely bomb the team talk. Success. And our teams are taking the field. Oh, come on. Oh, what have we done? Yeah, these 2 teams, they look so similar in level. Getting off the bus, you just can't tell which team is going to be the one that takes the cake today. Okay, here we go. Arsenal's getting into its tactic here. And if we pause this, we now have, I believe, a 4-on-0 developing 6 seconds into the match. Darwin. You know, I really feel like we're overcomplicating this. Okay, there it is. was offside, dude. They called it offside. Oh, we're playing the best possible team against the worst possible team, and the first goal is called back for an offside on Darwin Nunez. We still haven't scored nearly 3 minutes into the match. If we're trying to get to 1,000 goals, we're not even going to get anywhere close. Oh, McAllister, surely. Rigged. It's scripted. We're gonna, well, I guess technically I'm gonna win. At least that gives us a corner. We did set up all the set pieces, by the way. So we have the OP broken set pieces on attack and the worst possible set piece defense set up as well. Not that that matters, apparently. Surely. You just gotta figure this out. That was offside again! He's offside again! We haven't scored. We're nearly 5 minutes into the game and we haven't scored. That's offside again. That's another offside call. We've genuinely broken the game. Like, the team is too good relative to the opposition with the weird tactic and everything. They don't know how to stay onside. Like, all they need to do is just run forward and shoot. It's nearly 7 minutes in. We haven't scored one goal. Kanate, surely. That's onside at least. That's a goal. 6.5 minutes in. Trying to score 1,000 goals in a game, we now have one. This is still somehow Darwin's fault. I'm still blaming Darwin Nunez for this. Oh, that's insane. You might just do that every single time. That's on. That's on, ref. It's on. The funny thing is I've played matches in Football Manager where I've scored 3 or 4 goals in the first 8 or 9 minutes, and yet somehow I can't do that when we have set up literally everything to allow that to happen. Genuinely mind blown here. Offside. It's offside. It is offside. In fact, Liverpool was on the way to a truly stunning 47 offsides called over the course of this match. And I, like you probably are right now, realized that hacking the tactic of Arsenal was perhaps a bit too much. It's literally broken the way that the game runs. So we are definitely going to try this again with a different tactic. But I felt like I would let this one run just to see how it played out. It would help if we stop missing those. I say we. I am literally coaching the other team. Like, I just don't understand why they're passing in this situation. I mean, we've literally just broken the match, and there is no reason to pass in that situation. There's no defense even there. It's mind-boggling. Like, obviously, the game is not meant to be used in this way, but it literally has just found a flaw in the player's logic. They don't know what to do when it's just so open. We only scored 1 goal in the first 12 minutes. 1. But it felt like the players started to figure it out after that, with more goals coming seemingly every minute. And by halftime, it was a pretty dominant lead for the boys from Liverpool. But I hadn't given up hope for my team. All right, time for a big-time team talk here. Nailed it. It clearly worked because Liverpool came out and scored in the first minute, meaning I'd inspired our boys to hang on for a number of seconds. And then again, 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 and then again. I think you get the idea. I think you understand what transpired here. The problem is, even though after the first 13 minutes, Liverpool scored a goal nearly every minute of the match, it's not enough to even get close to 100. And by the time we get close to stoppage time, the race is just to 60. Need a couple late here if we're gonna get even 60 goals. Joe Gomez, baby! Remarkably, that is just his second goal of this entire thing. It's ridiculous. Mies Hilgers, that's 60. Little bit less than 1,000, but I think we can do better once we set this whole thing up again, because it's clear that we basically just broke the way that the game works. So I have a new plan. We are going to set up a very defensive park the bus preset tactic, because what we want to do is invite pressure. So obviously very defensive. This is like a preset setup with wide target men and stuff. We're not going to tweak that too much. Hit early crosses, pass into space. We're gonna make the defense wide so there's more room to work in the middle. Be more disciplined. Kind of want them to just stay there. Take long kicks so they give the ball back right away. I mean, it's really one half dozen to the other. We want much less press and a way lower block. We want to make sure we keep everybody onside so that they can score more goals. Sit down, team. That 60-0 was disappointing. I want you to go out there and do is allow more goals. I do have a bet on this. It may or may not be my my entire mortgage. So I need you to lock in and allow 1,000 goals here today, which I'm beginning to believe might be impossible, but we'll see. People thought it was impossible to go to the moon. And you know what? It still is. That was a conspiracy. We never went. So it just looks absolutely ridiculous with these guys walking onto the field, but this is science. Okay, so Arsenal's going to be in more normal positions, and we're going to see if having the best possible team is able to beat the worst possible team by more than that. Here we go. Should be easy. He's offside again. It's actually just written in the stars. It doesn't matter what you do to affect the game. The first goal is going to be ruled offside to Darwin Nunez. That's it. It's hard-coded on the back end. We have unearthed the truth. He wakes up offside, he goes to sleep offside, and every single moment in between, he is also offside. There we go. There we go. That wasn't offside, though. That's a faster first goal for the boys there. Faster first goal. And despite another offside for Darwin Nunez, there would be 2 more goals before the 10th minute. But that's just not fast enough. And then a third offside for Darwin Nunez. The goal-scoring pace stayed steady, but it became clear as we got close to halftime with all of these goals flying in that even though we managed to cut down on the offside, we somehow weren't scoring more goals. And in the second half, with goals flying all over the place, I became resigned to my fate. You know, even though that goes in, I should be celebrating, but I am aware that no matter what I do in like the base editing of this game, there is no way for me to create a world where we can even score 100 goals. It's just not possible. We did basically everything we could do. And in a rather depressing twist, as we got towards the end of the match, it became clear that playing against an actual set defense, even though it cut down on the offside, meant that the team was actually going to score less goals. Yeah, unless we have like a huge flurry here. It's not going to be enough. Oh, 53? He was obviously off. That's 52. Unless we score again, that's 8 less than we got playing against that terrible formation with a billion offside. Against the set formation, we created less shots, less XG, not by a lot, but really cut down on the offsides. Only 19 compared to 47. And we conclusively proved it's impossible to score 1,000 goals in FM. It might be impossible to get 100. And the cap really seems to be somewhere around 25 XG. We failed! But we did push the full limit on one thing. David Raya's match rating in the first match was 0.1. Victory.